Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan. This is Ryan Kelder. We are here in the Faultline Satellite Gallery where he has hung his work, and we're going to take a look at it. So let's jump in. This is Ryan.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Ryan. Thank you to everybody at the Faultline Studios. I'm very happy to be showing work from 2020. I have 4 pieces from 2020 and 1 piece from 2021, my very first piece. I would say this is the culmination of my ideas about what we surround ourselves with as a civilization and as a society. I work in the trades. I used to resurface houses, doing plaster, interior and exterior. And now I'm a house painter, so I'm still working in the same area. And as we're working in these trades, we tear apart houses, we build them back together, and a lot of material falls by the wayside. I call it the refuse of civilization. This piece particular is called Richmond Fence Model. It was when I was working in Richmond, and a worker built a replica of a fence that we were trying to sell to a client. And this piece has been shown in multiple different states. I like the idea that pieces change over time and they gather more as they come along, just like we do as a person. Work about what surrounds us and what we surround ourselves with. And that could be, you know, in our living situations, we surround ourselves with wood, cement, plaster, nails. A lot of these things go unnoticed. All the things that hold our living together, our dwellings together, kind of go unnoticed. We resurface them, we paint over them, and that hides what they really are. We want the finished product, and that's kind of what I think about when I'm painting these paintings. Is I'm destroying, I'm hiding what the material really is with my paint, but I'm also embellishing what the material really is, because the work wouldn't be completed if it wasn't built from what it is. I paint expressively and with an impressionistic style. I show the paint. I try not to hide the paint. I try not to make a leaf look exactly like a leaf so much as I want it to look like paint. The viewer will see what they want to see rather than me carving out for them exactly what I want them to see. I'd rather have the viewer see more than I do, if possible. This is all mixed medium. I try not to rule out anything, although I do have specific yeses and nos for what material I do use. This is mixed media on, I say mixed media, but it's mostly wood and metal. I use rusty nails, ads, there's tile, nails, tape, really everything that falls by the wayside. Metal blades, sharpness. I like the idea that artwork is dangerous, it can be dangerous, and we kind of tame artwork by putting it in the studio. I think the idea that artwork could hurt you physically is kind of exciting, but you know, you got to be careful. Yeah, there's rocks, there's cement, everything is just thrown into it, and this piece has been shown different ways, different sizes. It's had different things added to it. It grows over time. There's stickers, there's chalk, there's pastel, oil paint, latex, enamel, all of the paint, garbage and glue. And we'll move on to this piece. This piece is called High Street. This piece is interesting because I painted it standing right the other way up, right side up. And I was moving it in the studio, and I laid it on the side, and I decided I liked it a little better. It's called High Street because I found this sign right here on High Street. This sign is a gas line, warning gas line, gas pipe sign. And I found it bent like that, and there's a certain beauty to something that's been touched by civilization, as we all have been damaged living in society. We get there's pain that we experience, and I like how that kind of transitions, or could transition, into the expressiveness of the paint, of the work. This piece is it's very personal to me, because I have things stuck in here, like my old pair of glasses is encrusted in paint and just solidified. It becomes a part of this wood that it's on. There's pieces of asphalt from the ground that I took wood from, and there's lucky cards. Someone stole my identity a while ago and was opening up a whole bunch of accounts on credit cards and Home Depot cards and things like that. And there's a few of those in here. I was gifted a goose, and originally this was right side up, and it looks better sideways. It's the golden goose. It's all bronze, made of bronze. There is more commercialism in here. There's ads. It's all just, it's if civilization sneezed, and this is what came out of it. I was arrested a few years ago, and there's my sheet, with the paper they give you when you're let go, and it says everything that you had on you, and they give you a BART card, and then they to see you later. So it's very personal. There's work in here from a long time ago, and like I said, this is the culmination of my ideas on what we surround ourselves with, and it all kind of comes together in these works, in these 4 pieces that I did in 2020, and it was a very confusing time for all of us, and that I feel like I represented my paint in the same manner. It's confusing, and it's expressive, it's unfinished, it's wild, and it feels like it's still moving in some aspects. And yeah, we'll come over here to this piece. This piece is called Blue Sky Painting, and I started this piece before all 3 of the others. I called this Blue Sky Painting because I wanted to look at the blue sky. I felt like I was being very, very, down in the dumps, hurt. A lot of my work has to do with emotion, so I try and display my emotion through my work. And the blue sky is something that we all look forward to, and I kind of keep that as a metaphor with this work. And it is made with, there's a caulking gun, and there's a Jurassic World Nintendo Switch cartridge, there's a bottle cap, and keys, and wood found on the driftwood. There's stickers from the 90s up in there, and big bolts, and this one is very mellow compared to the others, I would say.
Yeah, it's wild how much stuff is in here.
Right, compared to the others, I would say there's not a lot. I used to work for a door company where we would supply everything you needed to install a door: hinges, thresholds, bolts, keys, locks, privacies, all of it. And I would take everything that they would throw away from that too, and I would shove it into the paintings, because it's all material, and it needs to be highlighted, it needs to be shown. I think a lot of people redo their houses, and they don't understand how much garbage is thrown away, how many pieces has gone to waste, and not necessarily used for their house. You buy. Well, I was gonna say about this big piece, you buy a product, and you're not only buying the utility of the product, you're also buying the box that it comes in, you're also buying the marketing, you're buying the commercials, you're buying the team of people sitting around a table contemplating about how their product could be better, or how people complain about it. So when you buy a tube of paint, just from an artist's perspective, when you buy a tube of paint, you're not only buying the paint that squeezes out of the tube, you're also buying the tube of paint. You're also buying the person mixing the paint. You're buying all of it. And I think that I use all of that. as the medium because they give it all to us. If I'm spending money on this product, I'll, you know, just like everyone else, I'm gonna want the most out of it. And so that's what I try and highlight with these works. This one, moving on, I would say this one right here, 19. This is my painting called 19. This one is, I would say, the heaviest of all the pieces. I actually, trying to hang it, I just decided to drill directly through it, attach it to the wall. It is built over time. This was also shown in multiple different states, and over time I would attach more things to it. I call this painting a butterfly painting, hence the show Butterfly. I feel like it has two wings. I feel like these butterfly paintings, as I call them, are gifted a new life, as in when they're being created, as when everything's coming together, they're gathering. That's when they're in their cocoon state, or if that's the right word. If they're a caterpillar turning into a cocoon, and that's their kind of like cocoon state. And now this is their butterfly state. Now they have wings, and now they're growing. I suppose that's the metaphor that I'm kind of attaching myself with to these paintings. And this one has just, it is really, the surface is encrusted and engulfed in society's refuse, the civilization's junk that is usually floating in the ocean right now or sinking to the bottom. The junk that's rotting in the dumps right now is now rotting on this wall right in front of us. There's no biodegradable material. There's no peanut butter jelly sandwiches or anything. There's no fruit or vegetables in it. It's all just raw material. If I had the chance, maybe I would put some sandwiches or food in there. But it's not the time or place for it. I understand. It's all mixed media, a lot of ink in this one, a lot of raw like ink, old belt buckle, there's old jewelry, rebar, signs. These are made from old signs, wood, siding. This wood specifically was torn from a house that was being attacked or eaten away by woodpeckers. Woodpeckers, if you don't know, are dangerous to a wood inside house. They'll open up holes in the side of your house and they'll put a whole bunch of acorns and stash whatever in there. And so if you look carefully somewhere, there's holes from woodpeckers. And I think that the nature's reaction to our human civilization also ties in very well. You know, it kind of creates meaning through that aspect. But yeah, these paintings were shown. These were my 2020 paintings, and I decided to move on to 2021 to look for a brighter side. And then this is the main piece of the show. This is the main focus of the show. This piece is more representational than the rest, but it's still very expressive in its painterly aspects. You can see leaves and representation of trees or river. You can make out what you want. There is I should talk about what it's made on. What does the imagery have to do with the surface, the material that it's made from? The material that it's made from is an unfolded Samsung Crystal HD 32-inch smart TV. Okay, this is where I was at. I mean, it's a smart TV. It has QR codes. I mean, what attracted me to the box was the surface. It's an unfolded TV box, and the commercialism, the product itself, right? You buy the TV inside, but you get this box that has all this work, this photoshopped reality into it. And if you look closely, you can see the remnants of the old TV. There's a Black Panther and the Lady in the Tramp. There's an image of the Mandalorian. Just everything that they were marketing that this TV could do. And you see these TV boxes, they have gigantic displays of a nature scene, a gigantic mountainside. And it's just still. It's right in front of you. It's a fake reality. You know, they're producing this reality that, you know, you can have inside of your house. And you take this box, and I unfolded it, and the idea was to create the real reality, to make it, to treat it with civilization, to treat it with the material of society, the medium of our living, and to damage it, to cut into it, to tie rocks to it, to tie porcelain to it, to glue plaster to it, to glue metal to it, and to show, in that dichotomy, I want to show nature as a metaphor for what they want us to feel like we're living. They want us to feel like we're comfortable in nature. We take in television as a source of visual stimulus, and in a sense, this painting that I produced has more movement than the still box frame could have. It's frozen paint, it's frozen in time, but you see the movement. It's almost as if you're changing the channel on this painting that's right in front of you, but you wouldn't see the painting. You wouldn't see what's underneath the painting if you weren't close enough, if you weren't studying the work. And I think that that's what it highlights, is looking closely, is looking closer at what's in front of us. Yeah, it was done during like I said, an expressive time. I feel like I do good work when I get sad, and I painted this when I was sad a lot of the time, and that frees you up. You think less about where your brushstrokes are. You think about mark making. You go in and out of thinking critically. In some ways, it's like planting real flowers. I'm painting real flowers, but in some ways it's planting a flower that'll grow and make you happy. And I guess this painting is more poetic for me than it is some masterpiece.
You got the paintbrush in here?
Yeah, I have this paintbrush. The paintbrush, that was the first thing I did to this painting, was tape that paintbrush in there. I had no idea what I was going to do with this. I unfolded the box and I drilled it to the wall. I nailed it to the wall, and the first thing I did was duct tape this terrible brush to it, this dried up brush. It's done. This is some old jewelry. This is porcelain from a teacup. There's cement here. This is from an old chair. This is the handle from my old easel. This is a rusted chain from a job site. This is an old drawing I did on a piece of metal that I wrote a poem on the back, but then I glued it to this, and now I have no idea what the poem was anymore. Like I said, commercialism and how much are things worth. This painting isn't worth $19, but if you make me an offer, maybe we'll think about it. When I unfolded the box, this corner and this corner aren't actually part of the original box, but I needed to fill out the sides just for aesthetic juxtaposition. The top left corner is made from old bank statements. So what's my money? What do we put in the bank? What do we keep from the bank? How do we do our taxes? How much money do we get back from the government? Do we like taxation? Are we upset? Are we okay with taxation? It's all tied into this box. And when you buy this box now, what do you get? You get what's on top of it. That's the utility now. The visual stimulus, the painting is now the utility instead of the television. And that's the transformation that I was working through. Yeah, thank you everybody. Enjoy the show. And I hope you can see it in person. Thank you very much.
Cool. Right on, right on.